Hello, Kentucky. There's a law in the books, actually right now, today, 2015, March 11th, that makes gay marriage a Class D felony. You can go to prison for 5 years. If they catch you having sex 3 times, you will go to prison. If you have gay sex 3 times, you will go to prison for 5 years. That's woman on woman, man on man. 3 times. And so that's, you're a multiple offender at that point of sodomy. Sodomy in the 4th degree. Sodomy in the 4th degree is a crime. So, Jack Conway, he, for 7 years, prosecuted gay people. For 7 years. He just changed his mind last year. But it took him 7 years in order to change his mind. And he says, he admits that when he was prosecuting those cases, that he felt like he was prosecuting discrimination. He knew that he was doing wrong. He knew that he was discriminating. He knows that between the line of segregation to integration, he would have been the George Wallace. He was the one, I guess he has an epiphany and then eventually does right. So I guess maybe he's more like that West Virginia Richard Byrd or Robert Byrd, which God bless his soul, right? He's dead now. He had an evolution with the way he looked at racism. He went from calling black people niggers to calling white people niggers, because he was like, well, there's white niggers too, right? So that was his evolution. So yeah, that's a law. That's a stupid law in Kentucky. It's absolutely ridiculous. Still today, 2015, you're not allowed to have gay sex. So if I wanted to be with a man, which I don't particularly have any interest in being with, but I wouldn't be allowed to do it, even if it was a consenting adult in the privacy of my own home. When did we lose the right to our own body, to our own, I'm more creeped out by the guy who's like standing outside the window, staring in, seeing if you're having gay sex. Ah, gotcha. Nah, you're doing sodomy, I see. That would be really bizarre. The sheriff busts into your house and they're like, hey, are you sitting there slapping penises? Are you sitting there doing butt stuff? Don't you be doing butt stuff. And or scissoring, I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't care about what gay people do. I am creeped out by the people that would want to regulate it. And even though gay sex is regulated in Kentucky, having sex with animals and having sex with dead animals or dead humans, necrophilia, none of that's legislated. So have all the sex you want in the graveyard, in the cemetery with all the bones, right? Give all them bones, a bone. Have fun. Go with the horses, right? The sheep and the pigs, chickens. It's all fair game. It's legal in Kentucky to have sex. I mean, it's a property, right? That you own your property. It doesn't have human rights. It doesn't have American rights. It's not a citizen. And so those things are completely legal. Gay sex is not. I think we need to flip that. We need to change that. That's backwards. And there's a lot of things we need to change. We have a culture of ignorance here. We need to change that. We have 2 out of 5 Kentuckians read at a kindergarten level or less. So essentially 2 out of 5 can't read, but 3 out of 5 can. That's the majority. So the 3 out of the 5 could teach the 2 out of the 5 how to read. Same thing with the income. We have lots of poverty, but the median income is $40,000. We're in America. This is America median income. 40 grand, that's a good living. I feel like I've been living on 10 to 15 grand for the last 15 years. So 40 grand is the median income. So that can help with the poverty. 1 out of 4 kids are in poverty, so 3 out of 4 kids are not. And so there is potential that the good can defeat the bad. And of course we need to clean out corruption, clean out the white trash, clean out just the garbage, clean out the white, collar mafia. Once you get out that white collar mafia trash, then you can actually get a real person who actually understands working class issues, that comes from the gutter, that knows what it's like to be poor, And, not just make sure that workers have good rights, but bring in the good corporations too. You need a social capitalist. That's the best candidate. Someone who acknowledges that the socialist salt trucks and the socialist public schools and the socialist post offices and the socialist, health care are good things. Those are good things. We have a mixed economy, and that's a good thing. So, I could go on and on about a lot of things. But I got this cough. And so there's some bad laws here, 10 stupid current Kentucky laws. You're only going to pass about 8. The legislature of Kentucky's passed 8. They're going to wait till the 24th. So they might actually hammer some more laws out. Because I'd only bet that they would only do 10. But they passed 8. The governor hasn't signed any yet. The last day for the legislature to meet up is March 24th. So they got 13 days. And the deadline is ticking. The governor can call a special session if he wants to talk about more things. And then we'll see what they did. We'll see, so far legislature's passed 8, but there's been none signed. So there's been, no bills have been passed yet. And we got some crappy laws that are already in the books. We could have changed the crappy laws. I mean, the gay sex thing is ridiculous. There's also fines against corporation maxes at $20,000 for felony offenses. So if a corporation kills your baby and you sue them, well, life is precious and you could sue for millions, but your baby's only worth 20 grand. No, sorry. Fines against corporations, even for felonies, maxes at 20,000. So you can't sue for them killing you, if they totally destroy your house, destroy your life, destroy your whole, world. 20 grand. That's all you could sue for. Our Constitution was originally developed to stop corporations from having so much power. I think 1975, the people who were running Kentucky in 1975 messed it up for everybody else. They changed a lot of stuff, and they changed it for the worst. The AT&T deregulation bill is absolutely horrible. Not only is it the poor people don't have landline phones, but there's no entity to call now if you have a complaint about your phone or your internet service. Before, the Public Service Commission handled the complaints for the internet and for telephone use. Now they don't have that jurisdiction. So if you have a problem with your internet, if you have a problem with your phone, you got to call the company itself. I never knew that the Public Service Commission even had this, a complaint department. They need to advertise. Government departments need to advertise what services they actually do for everybody else. Every government department should have its own web page, and every person should know what services are offered to them. I mean, I can't believe we have so many departments, and really it's just those people who know what's going on, they get paid. We got lots of legal corruption here. Number one with legal corruption, just like with pollution and cancer, but again, the good can defeat the bad, not with just median income and poverty, but with the literacy rates, the good can defeat the bad. And I honestly believe that. I truly believe that. So, you can't, if you send alcohol, if you're in Ohio and you send a beer to a friend in Kentucky, you can go to jail under Kentucky law. I don't know how they have jurisdiction since the crime would have happened in another state. So I guess it would have been the post office, but that's federal, so interstate commerce. I don't think you actually go, but it's in, it's on the books. It's on the books. You're not allowed to, unless you have like some sort of license. In Fort Thomas, this is actually where dogs and cats cannot molest cars, which that's actually just a good law, really, to be honest. Who wants any animals molesting your property? But it's only in Fort Thomas, so I don't know. I'm making fun of it in two ways. First, you need to make a law to say that animals can't molest your stuff. And no giraffes are allowed to jerk off on the lawn. No giraffe semen. Put that in the law books. Write that down. I feel like that kind of goes without saying. I don't know. Is that just me here? So, but it's only Fort Thomas. So dogs and cats cannot molest cars unless you're in Covington, Newport, Louisville, Lexington. All those places, molest all the cars you want. That's okay. Only Fort Knox is illegal for your animals. The baby chick thing, that's a really bizarre law. You can only You can't dye baby chicks like pink, have little pink ducks and pink chickens and pink rabbits. You're not allowed to dye them blue, pink, green, yellow. It's animal abuse, and that's actually true. It's not nice. It can be toxic, and you got to make sure they're healthy. And if it's done right, okay, I can accept that. But the law says you can't do it unless you're selling more than 6. So if you're only victimizing 5, well, that's a crime. That's a crime, and you got to pay a fine, $100 fine or so. If you're selling just 5, baby green rabbits, you have 3 baby green rabbits, light green baby rabbits. But if you have 6, you're in the clear. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you had 6 of them that you were selling. So actually, you can never sell all 6 of them. If you had 20 of them and you sold, all of them, 15 of them, and you only had 5 left, you'd be breaking the law. So you could not actually sell that 6th one. That 6th one can never be sold. So in a way, it's maintaining that base support. Only, there's going to be 6 baby chicks, baby rabbits, and baby ducks that's going to survive your, cruel treatment of dyeing your animals and selling them off as if they're commodities, if they're not real lives, to exchange for a laugh. I don't know, could go to a better home. 11:29. I'll finish the last of the laws and call it a morning. Okay, so in Kentucky, you need a license to walk around nude in your house. You, your naked spouse, and all your naked friends need a state license, or you can be fined $1,000 or jailed for 30 days. So all nudist colonies have to sign in on the dotted line, write a list. So I can understand the governor, who come up with that law. The governor was pretty perverted, right? Wait, there's nudist camps out there? No, that cannot happen. But think of the children. I need the names of every person in that house. Yeah. Okay, so out of 120 counties, there's still a bunch of dry counties. If they catch you with enough alcohol that looks like you're distributing, say like the Catholic Church, if there's a Catholic church in a dry county and they give alcohol to 5-year-olds, right, when you get baptized, so they pass an alcohol to lots of people. If they find out that you're distributing alcohol in dry counties, they can, take the alcohol, take you to jail, and take your vehicle. So when the priest goes to Walmart and buys the wine and then drives it back to redistribute it and they arrest him, they would be, under the law, legally allowed to do that. It's KRS. It's Kentucky law. And then 2 other ones. Peace officers must arrest and return any children who have escaped from a reform institution. So kids are basically born in jail. And Charlie Manson got raped all them times, for a bad check. He wrote a bad check and then went to Kentucky juvenile prison, and when he was 15 years old, got raped a bunch of times, messed him up, went out to California, started a cult, and, made history, right? So I guess, I don't know, he made history, right? And some of us don't even make the history books. He never killed anybody, but that's not an example people should listen to. So no, I don't like Charlie Manson. I don't think that keeping him in jail for the rest of his life is actually, that reflects poorly on us. KRS 437060. Any person who displays, handles, or uses any kind of reptile in connection with any religious service or gathering shall be fined not less than $50 nor more than $100. So if you have while you're passing out the Catholic Church, you're passing out wine to all those little children, all those babies, getting those kids drunk, right? And you happen to have a turtle or a lizard and it's part of the religious service, you will be fined $100. And your car will be taken. So if there's a priest who bought some alcohol in another county, came into a dry county in order to distribute it to other people, they're breaking the law. Not just priests, but anybody that looks like they're distributing. So if you buy 3 cases of beer, no, you're not an alcoholic. You're having a party. You're going to be distributing that. I see it. It's in your back seat. I've seen a picture of Clay County Sheriff's, and this is going to be the last story. But it's so ridiculous. Clay County Sheriff's Department was standing in front of the table, and they had Bud Light, Busch Light, Budweiser. They act like they had a big bust, like a big cocaine, heroin bust. Hey, look at this. Look, he got Zimas. He's got, you know, Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hell yeah, we got the big criminals in this county. We stopping the big pushers here. And the Clay County Sheriff looked like they was happier than a, you know, damn dog in a creek. But they was proud of themselves. Look at this. We caught somebody with Budweiser. With Zima. Actually, Zima, where did Zima go? So anyways, peace, occupy.